The high-voltage state of war in Uttar Pradesh continues. The state goes to polls today for phase 2 of the assembly election. 55 seats, 9 districts and 586 candidates are in the poll fray in the crucial second phase. In this phase, Uttar Pradesh's minority belt goes to polls. Phase 2 has 9 seats where Muslims constitute over 50% of voters. Some of the Muslim majority seats in the region are Sambhal, Amroha. You also have Amroha and Rampur. In 2017, BJP won 18 of the Muslim-dominated seats. SP won 10 seats that were dominated by the Muslim community. In 2017 elections, the BJP had dominated the seats with 38% of the votes, followed by SP and BSP. SP had 26.34% and BSP had 20.68% of the vote share. In the 2012 elections, it was the SP that dominated this belt. They had more votes than any other party, followed by the BSP. The BJP had garnered a meager 17.08% of votes in 2012. So things have been swinging back and forth. If you compare 2012 to 2017, things definitely took a completely different turn. This time around, which way will it go? Let's take this across to our reporters on the ground. Shreya Chatterjee is joining us live from Saharanpur. We have Samarth Srivastava who's reporting from the Sambhal constituency. Milind Sharma joining us from Rampur. Aishwarya joining us from Bareilly. Abhishek Anand joining us from Moradabad. Good morning to all of you. Samarth, I'd like to kick off with you on why this phase 2 of polling is so crucial for every political party and how in this particular belt, if you look at the voting pattern, it's moved back and forth, hasn't it? Samarth, can you hear me? Apologies, we've lost Samarth. We'll go across to him in just a bit. In the meanwhile, let me take this across to Aishwarya Paliwal, who's joining us live from Bareilly. Aishwarya, good morning. That question to you about why this belt is so crucial for every political party involved, the phase 2 of polling.
Well, Akshita, very good morning to you too. Let me tell you, this is a belt which is dominated by Jats and Muslims. So definitely the Bharatiya Janata Party is keeping a very close eye. But, let me also start by showing you this polling booth. Very interesting, the balloon decorations which have been put in place. Because this is a woman booth, all the women personnel are standing here. The sanitizer has been kept there because, this election, what's very important is the sanitizer. All the people are standing here. They are making sure that they give sanitizers to the people who come out and vote. But the balloon decoration, definitely, let me tell you, the administration has gone out of its way to make sure all the people here vote. Let me also tell you a very interesting fact, Akshita. Since 1985, it has been the Bharatiya Janata Party which has been winning Bareilly. What will it be this time? We'll have to wait and watch. But the assessment that we are getting, people are very enthusiastic. Heavy police deployment also here. The early birds here, all those people who went for early morning walks, all of them out here ready with the voter ID card, all of them wanting to cast the vote. So it looks like we might see large number of people turning out in Bareilly. The last time the Bharatiya Janata Party's candidate, Dr. Arun, had won by a margin of 28,000 votes. So we'll have to keep a very close eye on the data. But yes, it looks like people are enthusiastic. People are stepping out, at least here in Bareilly. And the administration has also gone out of its way. All the balloon decorations, making sure that people step in and people vote. Akshita.
Yeah, the crucial headline from this phase is that all of the Muslim-dominated seats are going to polls today. Milind Sharma is joining us live from Rampur, which is one of those Muslim-dominated, Muslim-majority seats. And Milind, at this point, there's a lot of question about which way the Muslim vote will really go.
Definitely, Akshita, because Rampur within the Rohilkhand area happens to be one of the most Muslim-dominated voter seats at the moment. We are seeing more than 61% of the votes polled in this area are the Muslim minority votes. But certainly, it's a very interesting contest always in the seat of Rampur because we are looking at Azam Khan and Abdullah, the Azam family versus the Nawab family. And certainly this time around, Azam Khan is in jail, and Abdullah just came out released on bail. He campaigned with Akhilesh Yadav in the area in the last few days. But certainly, if you look at only the Muslim vote pattern, it could perhaps go to the Gathbandhan, but we also have to talk of other caste combinations within this particular Rohilkhand area, Rohilkhand region. And there are others like Sainis and Gujars and Kashyaps, and which way they will vote will also determine the polling percentage is what I'm being told by those on the ground will also be very crucial, because in areas where the minority vote is the highest, the polling percentage needs to be more, so that more votes can be consolidated. And this is why, we have BJP's Akash Saxena also fielded against Azam Khan here. He was the one courtesy whom Azam Khan is in jail. More than 100 such cases filed on him, few of which he has got relief in, but he has not been given any bail. And this particular time, the election is a little different, Akshita, because usually we would see such high polarized statements from Azam Khan, and that seems to be missing in Rampur at the moment. So whether or not the people will provide sympathy votes to Azam Khan and Abdullah this time around, or they will look at a wave of change, is the big question going to be in the Rampur constituency.
Interesting battle that's playing out in Rampur, as Melinda broke down for us, particularly the Azam Khan factor. And that's something that's going to be talked about also come March 10th. Request all our reporters to stay with us. I just want to cut across to breaking news that's coming in on the Prime Minister's tweet on polling day. Here's what he said. Remember that polling isn't just happening in Uttar Pradesh today, but in Uttarakhand and Goa as well. So the Prime Minister urging voters to come out and cast their vote. He's tweeted, and I quote, polling will be held across Uttarakhand, Goa and in parts of Uttar Pradesh. I call upon all those who are eligible to vote today to do so in record numbers and strengthen the festival of democracy. It does come down, in fact, to a number of issues, including the voter turnout, which is why every party is doing, in fact, all that they can to ensure that the maximum voter percentage is reported in these parts. The BJP, as far as the BJP is concerned, they have a lot at stake today, whether it's Uttarakhand, whether it's Goa or Uttar Pradesh itself. Let's focus again on what's happening in the battle for Uttar Pradesh. I understand that Samad Srivastava is with us from Sambhal. Samad, where you're standing, Sambhal constituency is also very crucial. Again, a seat that's Muslim dominated. It's interesting to see, the voting pattern if you compare 2012, 2017 and now. It's what makes things perhaps a little unpredictable about which way it'll go. These aren't really strongholds.
See, second phase is very crucial for both SP and BJP, and what we know, it is being dominated by Muslims. And where I'm standing is the Sambhal district. Out of 4 assembly seats out here, around all those 4 seats are dominated by this MY factor. That means Muslim Yadav factor, which is the stronghold of Samajwadi Party since years. As we have arrived at this particular poll, you can see this is the Shehzadi Sarai Sambhal area, and where you can see the lines have been stationed. The people have stationed here for casting votes, though few people have also casted their vote. You can see some placards pasted here, bahar jane ka rasta. So these are the ways andar jane ka rasta. So these are the things being made by the administration and police department. I will try to interact with some of the voters. I have got one young voter with us. आपके लिए वोट करने का क्या मुद्दा है, क्या मुद्दा लेके आए हैं?
हम योगी जी को वोट दें।
मुद्दा क्या है इस बार?
मुद्दा सर हमें नहीं पता।
I'll try to interact with other people as well as I move forward. Though we are being a responsible channel, we are not going inside the booth. But इस बार मुद्दा क्या है संभल का? किस मुद्दे पर वोट करने आ रहे हैं? विकास, गुंडागर्दी, क्या रहेगा मुद्दा? So in a way they are a bit hesitating in speaking, but what we know about Sambhal, that it is being completely, see, women out here have also arrived for polling. I'll again try to interact with some of them out here. I've got some people around. So इस बार संभल का क्या मुद्दा रहने वाला है?
संभल का मुद्दा विकास का है जी। विकास होना चाहिए संभल के अंदर, ज्यादा से ज्यादा विकास हो और आदमी को सुविधा मिले हर प्रकार की। तो यही विकास है संभल का, यही मुद्दा है हमारा वोट डालने का।
अभी तक सुविधा मिली है?
विकास हो, विकास संभल विकास नहीं और विकास होना चाहिए।
और माफियागिरी का कोई सिस्टम यहाँ पे रहा है?
माफिया नहीं है इतनी, वैसे
नहीं है। क्या आप लोग की उम्मीदें हैं कि मतलब जिसको लेकर आप वोट कर रहे हैं?
राष्ट्रीयवाद पे, विकास पे। गुंडागर्दी बिल्कुल बंद बंद बस ये
I'll try to interact with other people as well. They have come here. अति ठंडी में आप आए हैं, क्या लग रहा है इस वक्त? मतलब जो वोट का जो डालने आए, क्या मुद्दा क्या है बेसिकली?
मुद्दा कमल का फूल।
नहीं, मुद्दा क्या है?
विकास होनी चाहिए, सही बढ़िया है।
विकास होना चाहिए। So as you see that they have arrived, it's around 7 o'clock and it's early morning and it's breezy out here. It's cold waves out here. So this is the thing. So now you see people are turning out in good numbers early morning. So we can expect much people out here in Sambhal district in the coming hours. Yes.
All right. I just want to introduce also Paulami Saha. She's joining us live from Shahjahanpur. Paulami, good morning. You know, you were reporting during phase 1 as well. Phase 2, it could go either way is what many experts have said, which is why every political party will be tracking this phase and what's happening very, very closely.
That's right. This is going to be very crucial again. Extremely tight for the Bharatiya Janata Party and the alliance led by Samajwadi Party. We're standing at Shahjapur at a polling station in Shahjapur, which is of course polling today. Among the 55 seats, Shahjapur has 6 assembly segments and it is going to be extremely crucial. You of course were speaking to our colleagues earlier and they of course spoke about the Muslim vote, which is extremely predominant in this phase of the elections across these 55 seats. But let's just give you a sense of the polling which is underway over here. It has been a little bit of a slow start this morning, but we're slowly seeing people trickle in and cast their votes, and we've got some early voters as well, in fact, who've come here to cast their vote. I will try and speak to them. Ravikant, I'll try and speak to some of our voters who've in fact already cast their vote. एक तो अपना दिखा दीजिए कि आपने वोट डाल दिया है. So he has cast his vote already. ये बताइए, पार्टी का नाम नहीं, पक्ष का नाम नहीं, नेता का नाम नहीं, ये बताइए कि मुद्दे क्या रहे हैं जिनको ध्यान में रखते हुए आज अपने अपना वोट डाला है?
मुद्दे महंगाई रहे, सबसे जो है मेन मुद्दा महंगाई का है, बेरोजगारी का है, जो आज जो सबसे मेन मुद्दा बेरोजगारी और महंगाई का है, इसको ही ध्यान में रख के वोट किया गया है।
अच्छा, हाँ। बेरोजगारी और महंगाई आपके लिए क्या मुद्दे रहे हैं? शाहजहांपुर के लिए क्या मुद्दे रहे?
केवल आवारा पशुओं का मेन मुद्दा है, बाकी कोई मुद्दा नहीं है।
वो काफी बड़ा मुद्दा रहा है यहाँ पर वेस्टर्न यूपी में, मैंने देखा है।
जी जी, किसानों को बहुत तकलीफ हो रही है और जो आवारा पशुओं से काफ़ी नुकसान हो रहा है। बाकी ये सरकार है, बाकी सबकी पूर्तियाँ नहीं कर सकता।
अच्छा,
सबके मत अलग होते हैं, किसको क्या चाहिए, तो सबके लिए सरकार है, लेकिन सरकार सबके पक्ष में नहीं कर सकती। किसी को क्या पसंद है वो सरकार सबको नहीं खुश रख सकती।
अच्छा,
बाकी अब की सबकी विचारधारा अलग है, किसको क्या करना है, किसको कौन सी पार्टी अच्छी लगती, उनका व्यक्तिगत।
पर आप ये तो जातिवाद से उठकर लोग वोट
नहीं, यहाँ कोई धर्म जाति का नहीं मुद्दा, मेन मुद्दा है।
अच्छा,
यहाँ जो
आपने वोट डाला है? अच्छा, ये पक्ष नेता किसी का नाम मत लीजिएगा, ये बताइए कि मुद्दे क्या ध्यान में रख के आपने वोट दिया है?
हम लोगों के मुद्दे विकास के हैं
जी। हम
हम लोगों के मुद्दे जो हम लोगों का भयमुक्त प्रदेश है, जिससे हम लोग यहाँ पे सुकून की सांस ले रहे हैं। हमारे मुद्दे जो हमारा लोकल मुद्दे हैं, जैसे हमारे शहर का विकास है
जी।
जो अभी तक पिछली सरकारों में हमारा शहर बहुत ही ज़्यादा पिछड़ा रहा, लेकिन अब जो ये सरकार बनी है उसमें हमारा प्रदेश इन्हीं मुद्दों को लेके हमने अपना मतदान किया।
So these are some of the issues you heard about. Unemployment, you heard about महंगाई, inflation. One of the issues, stray cattle, that was another issue of concern, and someone over there talking. And of course, the end of Mafia Raj as well is what he spoke about. So these are some of the issues, quite a gamut of issues over here in Shahjapur that people are of course keeping in mind.
Paulami, you know, it's important to highlight how we've seen also a very polarized campaign in these parts. One of the issues that have been brought up time and again is also of the riots, divisive politics, but clearly the voters have a perspective of what issues matter to them. Amit Bharadwaj is joining us from Bijnore. Amit, where you are, you know, the BJP has managed to win in the last few elections. SP has really struggled in this constituency. Which way is it expected, to go this time around? Because everyone has been talking about phase 2 being a bit unpredictable.
A very good morning, Akshata. Right, we are in Bijnore, and remember, Bijnore has nearly 8 seats, and I mean Dhampur seat. Now, this entire area is quite polarized in terms of voting profile of the voters, because on one side you have high Muslim population in several seats of Bijnore. On the other side you also have the politics of polarization and communal politics being played out. And one thing that is very important and peculiar about Bijnore is that, remember, the Uttar Pradesh government had passed a love jihad law, and one of the initial cases of love jihad was registered right here in Bijnore, in Rampur. So that controversy had also swayed the entire belt, and it had become one of the talking points. And we'll cut across to voters here as well. We have two voters who are amongst the first people who had come here at the polling station right in the morning to cast their vote. As they say, as the election commission keeps on reminding the voters, पहले मतदान फिर जलपान. तो आप लोगों ने बिना जलपान किए वोट डाला है आज?
जी, आज हमने बिना जलपान किए, पहले हमने जो है मतदान का जो चल रहा है, महोत्सव चल रहा है, उसमें हम वोट डाल गए हैं.
जी जी. So clearly people are coming out, they are enthusiastic, and hopefully as the day progresses, the more voters will be out.
Sure, Amit, I just want to take a quick question also to Shreya Chatterjee. She's joining us live from Saharanpur this morning. Shreya, what's the mood on the ground there in Saharanpur? Voting has kicked off. Are there a large number of voters there?
Well, so far, definitely, there's not a large number of voters, but we did see a few people who are coming over here. Remember, Saharanpur is one of those districts where the Imran Masood factor also works, and he had switched sides to the Samajwadi Party. On the other hand, we have Dharam Singh Saini from Nakur constituency who'd come from the BJP. So it's an extremely interesting contest here in Saharanpur, the district which has 40% Muslim voters. 3 days back, the Prime Minister also visited over here. He reached out to the women Muslim voters, talking about triple talaq, saying that BJP is with the Muslim women voters. Very interesting fight here where the Muslim voters actually decide largely on the fate of who also wins. So definitely that's an interesting battle to look out for. The Imran Masood factor also, interestingly, whether it will help the SP or not is something that we have to wait and watch for.
All right. Thanks to all of our reporters for joining us on this broadcast.